Welcome, welcome, all you crafty people. We are starting a new project. This one's going to kind of be a fast one because I don't have much time. One of the few friends that I have in Kentucky so far, super nice gal, and she's getting married. This is her second, as far as I know. They've both been married before, and they have children, and they're older than I am. And I asked her if she would like to have, because I don't know her well enough, I asked her if she'd like to have a wedding album. And she said yes. So we're going to make a wedding album, and it's kind of a fun theme. It's rustic, wildflowers, and mason jars. So burlap, lace, mason jars, wildflowers. Fun, right? So I'm still trying to find a few things that I'm looking for, but I thought, I better get started at least with part of the build or whatever. So I thought I'd go ahead and bring you guys along with what I've pulled out. So I pulled out a little bit of everything I had that I thought is going to look pretty to do something fun on the cover for her. Yeah, so there's that. Okay. I'm still inundated with Christmas stuff for Christmas in July here, but I think this is July 8th. I'm so sorry, I still got the hiccups. This is July 8th, and I think she's getting married August 20th. So I don't have a lot of time. Of course, I've got to keep my Christmas and July stuff going, and I have to finish up my display box and the 2 books. So yeah, so I'm busy. So y'all pray for me, because the 21st, less than 2 weeks, I actually go in for surgery. So even more time taken away, and it's kind of a major surgery. So I'm probably going to be in the hospital like 7 days. 5 to 7 is what they're saying, and then getting home, it'll be like a month before I am, back to normal. So yeah. Lots of fun stuff. So anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be busy in my craft room. There's not really a whole lot more else that needs to be done in the house. Just normal stuff, and I can get that done for sure. Okay, so we're doing burlap and lace. So this is actually from the Dollar Tree, and I think you get 3 yards for the $1, so not bad. I have several of these, but I pulled one off of my wall of ribbon. This is from We Are Memory Keepers. It's mason jar, and so I've got the mason jar. I've got lots of different things that I can put on the mason jar. This actually imprints. It doesn't cut out. But I think if you just cut, I don't know that this comes on there too much. I actually have not used this one. We have the lid and the cover to the lid, because ever so slightly it shows, so that's your cover. And then we have a little tag to go along with it. So super cute. I will be using these. This was just from Michael's or Joann's. Joann's. I think it was from Joann's. Just those inexpensive guys, whatever they're called, and there was no name on it, so I didn't write anything down, but there were 2 of them that came with it. One was another little scrolly thing, but just to add a little bit of fun, probably do these. I think I have some not glitter, but iridescent paper, white, and I think that will add a nice little, kind of dress it up a little bit. And then I just have these little hearts big one and a little one. So I'll probably cut some of those out. Now, this I'm using is from Hobby Lobby, the Paper Studio. It says it's 110 pound and 300 GSMs, but it's not 110 pound. Not like, let's see, I have 110 pound in here somewhere. Well, that's not it. But the 110 pound I have is from Stamping Up. And, you know, you don't just do this freely with that. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's 120 I have. I don't know. But it's still a nice weight. It's maybe a little heavier than the 80. As far as me feeling it and thinking, it's a little heavier than the 80. So anyway, this is what I'm going to use. I thought it was a good burlappy color. So it's okay. I'm not going to be putting burlap down on this that much. You're not going to see that much of it. So I think we'll be all right. But that's, I think, what I'm going to end up using to build. Now, I looked through, and my Prima, I don't remember what this one's called. It's a very old one. There was only these, you get 5, so I grabbed 2 of these because I really love this as kind of my palette for her book. Because she didn't really give me any color scheme. She just said it's wildflowers, and then lace, white lace, burlap, mason jars. You know, that was kind of the thing. So this kind of spoke to me as a good soft neutral palette. And you know, I have been looking, like, this is one of Keon Shotwell's, but it has the love on it, and I'm sorry I can't remember exactly. I think it's Timepiece or something like that. But I like the Polaroid kind of look, and the color scheme is, you know, maybe not quite there, but you know, there are things that we can do with that. Now this is from Paper Farms. And it's called Lantern Vine. Now, I didn't print off all of them, but I thought these were really cute. And with the print, you can either print them portrait or landscape. So that was kind of nice. So I did both. But these are different woods. On and off, the same leaves. They look like they're kind of painted on. But, you know, having the mason jars in the light, I just thought that was kind of wedding-esque. Then I found that this person is quite prolific. If that's the one, I don't know. Weathered Textures. Okay, that is the name of this, Weathered Textures. And I think I have these upside down. Again, I've got the white lace. I've got some colors, wildflowers, you know, because the wildflowers is really going to incorporate quite a few different colors. This is the same, so I printed 2 of those out. I think these are apple blossoms. Not sure what those are called, but you know, there's I loved this, and I love the apple blossoms. So we'll definitely use like this and this. This one's a little crazy, but it's got some nice individual flowers on it that will kind of go with, you know, all of this up here, some in the center, you know. It's got stuff for me to work with, and it's got some things that are going to, you know, just be pretty. So that's that. But this Weathered Textures had lots of very interesting items. Now this digital curio, this is called Burlap and Lace. And I printed out several sheets of just burlap. They had 6 different kinds of burlap. I think one looked more like linen than burlap. So I have this one and this one. There's definitely 2 different colors there, and the weaves are different. I wasn't sure which one I was going to want to use, or if I'm going to be interchangeable. Don't know. So I printed out 5 each of those, but I can certainly, because I own it, I can order as much as I want. Then they also had lace and burlap. So I printed some, not all of the options that they had, but just ones that I thought would work for this. And that's that. So that is Digital Curio, Burlap, and Lace. So that's what I found so far. Then those of you that are following me with my display box, and then it's a mini album and a journal in the display box for home decor. I did I've got it right here. I did in the journal, a space in the back where there's lots of picture opportunities, okay? So I am going to do the same thing, kinda, in this one. It is going to be about an 8.5 by 11 book. And so this is obviously 12 by 12, but the top sheet is 4 inches, which makes this 8 inches, 12 by 12. And so I'm going to cut off, and this is going to leave me a nice piece for, you know, anytime I'm going to need some, because this is a heavyweight plastic in here. And then I'm going to take this side and fold it over, because there's 3 4x6 opportunities, and then 2 3x4 opportunities. So then once this is cut off, we will fold this over, and then we'll have an 8 by about 7. I believe I thought it was about 7 inches. Yeah. So it'll be from stem to stern, it's about 7 inches, but this holds a 4x6, and then this will flip over. I have done that in the past where I folded right on the little guided line there, and it works just fine. Once it gets used to it and you get the weight of the photos in it, it works just fine. So that is what I have so far. I don't know if I'm going to do a boom boom. I do want to have a lot of, she is crafty, but she's not paper crafty. So I don't want to do a lot of flip this, flip that, flip this, do that, this, that. I want it to be pretty clean, straightforward. Flip the page, here's some more, flip the page, here's some more, flip the page. So I am trying to think of how I want to do that. So it's probably going to be a very easy install. Okay, that's what I can say about that. But we do want to have a lot of pages to be able to flip. And so for the most part, there's not going to be a huge amount of decoration that is going to be on a 3D level. There's going to be mainly flat decoration. So I probably will, I don't know if I'm going to come up with more things like this. because none of the papers that I have chosen have had any kind of ephemera with them. So I am going to try and look up wedding, which is the one thing I didn't have time to do last night. I was looking up wildflowers, trying to find something on that. So if any of you know any good wildflower, I mean, I found a lot of wildflower, but they weren't like what I was looking for. They were too cartoonish, or roses. She's not doing roses. She's doing wildflowers. So, you know, yeah. So, I've still got some work to do, but I think I've got a good start. I just wanted to bring you guys in on it, and as soon as I start cutting and prepping this, I'm going to bring you along for that too, because it's going to be a little different, which is usually what I do. It's always something a little different. I don't ever really make any one the same as the next. The paper talks to me, or I have an agenda to reach. So love you all so much. Thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for more on this one. Wah! Love you all. Bye. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Going to be working on the wedding album. Got a lot to do, so I'm trying to streamline what I'm going to be doing. So this might be a good one for those of you who have a quick gift to get out. This might be one. Okay, so what I want to do is my base page. And my base page is one 8.5 by 11 sheet. And then on the 8.5 side, I'm going to score at 1. I mean at 1/2, and then at 1. So that gives me the first 1/2 inch is actually going to be on my spine, and the second 1/2 inch is allowing me for laying over top of another page or something like that. So for this book, I'm going to use 4 of these. I have 2 done, so let me get 2 more done with you. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and then 1 more. Whoops, let's see, daisy, 1/2 inch, and 1 inch. Okay, we're also going to think strategically about our build, so don't go away, because this, you know, maybe will help. Now I'm going to need 4, 8, and I have 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 done. So let me make sure. I started doing this a different way, and then I changed my mind. So I'm bringing you guys along for the ride. 1, these are quite thick. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I need 8. So let's do 3 more. And all of these are going to be is a 1/2 inch. Easy peasy, guys. Easy peasy. Yeah, these base pages, they just don't get simpler than this. And that's 7, and then I need 1 more. Can't even keep count. Okay, so I have my 8 of those. Then I'm going to need, and let's see, I have 1. Oh, I have 1, 2. I have 2 of these, and I think this was not part of the 8. I think I found another one so I can use it for something else. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. I'm sorry. Let me try this again. Wah! Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought I had 8. I'm getting confused now. Okay, these are my base. These are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and okay, so I need one more with just a 1/2 inch on it, because I need 8 of those. Okay, so there's that. Then I need 4, and I have 2. I need 4 where I have a 1/2 inch and 5/8 of an inch. So that's a 1/8 of an inch gusset. And then I'm going to need some more paper. 1/2 inch and 5/8. So that is page number 3. And then for the last page, I need a couple more sheets here. Oh, come here. Okay. For the last page, we're going to do a 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. And I need 4 of those, and I already have 2. So 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. All right, so now let's put this away. Okay, base page first. So I'm going to turn the mountains into valleys. Burnish. Burnish. Let's go ahead and get this one burnished down. Okay, so on our first page, now we're looking at the first page, and it's just going to fold over like that. So we are definitely going to have this piece is on the spine, and this piece is extra. So when I want it to lay over, I can put all the thick stuff in front for this page, because all of this 1/2 inch is just going to lay over on top of all of the pages and hold that all together. So that's what we're looking at, is I want this book to lay as flat and as nice as possible. These are not crafty people that I am giving this album to, but she loves the idea that she's getting a handmade album. So so then I'm going to take, let's see, I've already got some that are folded. I have my 1/8 of an inch, and I have a 1/4 of an inch, the 1/8 of an inch gusset, the 1/4 of an inch gusset, and I'm going to take 2 of my just 1/2 inch pieces. Okay, go ahead and get that one folded. Burnish all of your pieces down really well, and make sure that you are taking off the little corners, which I think all of these except for my base page. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put, these are basically going to be built the same, but I might have somewhere I put most of the build on the back side. We're just going to have to see. I want to make sure. Now I am going to lay this down on the very first fold closest to the end of the paper and burnish it, so it's a little easier. Now you can use score tape or glue or both, or whatever it is that you use to glue down your papers. However, for the build of a mini album, I would not suggest glue sticks. No, they won't work. They will work for a short time. Put this next to the innermost, or the second score line of your base page. Line up both top and bottom, and then you'll know you'll have it straight, and stay a little bit away from the score line of your base page. Okay, so that's the first one. Now, and that's with the 1/4 inch gusset. Now I have the 1/8 of an inch gusset. And again, I'm going to fold down so I get just the first score line is folded. That one is okay. And your second score line is laying flat now. It just makes it easier. I'm going to put some glue. Okay, and we're going to lay this right down next to the score line. Line it up with the page, top and bottom. And the fact that we're using the same paper, you know that everything is the same height. So that makes that easier because I'm not cutting anything off of the height. Okay, so there is those two. So there's the 1/4 inch, the 1/8 of an inch, and now we're just going to be doing the... Now you certainly can, if you want to put this you certainly could put it this way. You would have to cut it down. You could place it on this page, which would cut down on the amount of thickness here. It would still be thick, but it would be better. Let's see. Or I could put it on top of this one, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So then I don't have any one spot 3 pages thick. So we don't want any one spot 3 pages thick. So I'm going to lay this right on top of the 1/4 inch score line. Now, you can see there's the 1/4 inch score line, and then this lays right on top of it, and I've lined it up on both sides. Okay, I'm going to make sure that's nice and dry. Okay. So there, so now we have page turn, page turn, page turn, base, flip it, and we're going to, now the base page is short by 3/4 of an inch pretty much. When you lay it down this way and looking at it, when it's going to be like this, it's a 1/2 inch. And then this top piece that I put down is longer because there's no gusset pulled out of it. So it looks like it is, you know, even more when it lays out that way. But it's a 1/2 inch shorter because the gusset on this side. But I think that will give me the chance to put something on this, whether it be, you know, some tabs or whatever. That gives me a half inch of play. It could just be a beautiful piece of lace, but it will be something to make the pages all kind of come out at some point all the same. And then I'm going to have the one flip on the back side of the base page. All right. So this is the back side of the base page. I'm going to go ahead and open everything else up so it's a lot easier this way instead of trying to get all of those lines from the gussets and everything laying down so you're not screwing up your gussets. we go. And then burnish that down. So that is our base page for page number 1. And I'm going to put, this is actually the spine piece. I'm going to put 1. So I know that this build is for this to be the first page. And it sits up a little more. It sits up about 5/8 of an inch, and this is a 1/2 an inch. So there is a little bit of space here. Sorry. And plus, we're not going to put this right at the edge of the spine. We'll back it up a little bit, so we will have more room for a big, beautiful front, center. Here they are. You know, this is what this is all about. Wedding and kind of thing. So this first page will be really important, and then you'll flip and you'll have a nice spread here and flip and a nice spread here with some room to build these up a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And then you have 1/8 of an inch here. And then when you flip, it's again another flat space. And so that is page number 1. Now, if you think about this, when you flip this over, you have a 1/2 an inch sitting right here that this next page is going to have to fold over. So let's get the next page. I'm going to move this for a second while I get this next page going. Okay, so put your thinking caps on with me for a second. So here is the next page, and this is going to, you know, usually you kind of butt it up against the last one. So when we go to flip this, the 1/2 an inch we've got this 1/2 an inch is separated out. And you go to flip this, we've got our full 1/2 an inch to play with, but you've also got the back side of this, whatever you might want to do for that. So if we were to fill up this whole space again with all of the pieces and parts in the front, this page won't lay down on this page because it is a 1/2 an inch high to begin with. And so it's going to be like this. Yeah, it's going to be like this. So we are definitely, I think we're going to split up the pages this time. We're going to do some on one side and some on the other instead of all of them on one side. Let's try that. So it's the same page setups, but let's just have some different kind of fun with them. Okay, so let's get the 1/4 of an inch gusset. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on this inside piece. So we're just going to follow what we did for the first one. And I'm going to put this next to the most inside line, what do you call it? Score line. Burnish. And I think so now I've taken up almost half of this, and I think that's all I'm going to do as far as that but I think I will put just a 1/2 inch page on the inside. Just no gussets in it, just the 1/2 inch page. Okay. There we go. Burnish it down. It's important enough it bears saying it again. Stay away from your score lines. So now we have our 1/4 inch gusset and just our 1/2 inch page. I'm going to flip to the back. And let's go ahead and open all of the pages except for the base page down. And let's take our 1/8 of an inch gusset. Let me move this so I can do this. And before, let's see, we're going to go ahead and get this. It is so much easier to get this this 1/8 of an inch before you put the page down. So please make sure you take the time to get this burnished, even though we want to have the first score line, the 1/2 inch score line, to be flat. Okay, so now, oop, I didn't cut these. Oops. Got little triangles everywhere. We'll have to be doing some cleanup on aisle 5, please. All right. Okay, so now I'm doing this 1/8 of an inch gusset on the back of our base page. Burnishing that down. And then I'm going to take our 1/2 inch and I'm going to put that on the outside, not on the inside, because I want that 1/8 of an inch so I can make some pretties for in there. All right. Alrighty then. And once you get this done, let's form all of our gussets back. There we go. Okay, so this one is got half of it on one side of the base page and the other half on the other side of the base page. So I think we're going to share our load quite nicely, and everything is going to lay down quite nicely. Okay, so now the next one, I want to do the same thing. Okay, I want to have half on one side, half on the other. But I think this time I'm going to put the 1/4 inch on the front side. And so here is the base page. Oh, I'm like, what is that? It was a notebook, but it had the same color. I said, why do I have 5 base pages? But it's just a notebook. Just a notebook. Okay, so we have these done. This is the front. And I think this time I want the 1/8 of an inch, which I have here. One. So I'm going to just do the opposite. I'm going to put the 1/8 of an inch on the front, and I'm going to put the 1/2 inch, the sheet with just the 1/2 inch on top of it. I believe I'm going to put it on top of it because I like the idea that I have the 1/8 of an inch on the inside. Okay, make sure this is nice and burnished and not too messy. There we go. And then 1/2 an inch. All right, then this is going to fit right down on the innermost scar line. Just off of it. Just off of it. Okay. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's what I want to do, because then I actually have, yeah, I think this is going to be just right. But we'll see. We'll see if it makes any difference. Okay, and then on the back, so it's fine on this way. Open everything over to that side except for the base page. So you just have the one base page. And then we're going to do, let me go ahead and cut these. You're not taking anything off of the score line. You're just at the score line taking off the corner of the paper. So you're not actually removing any of the score line when you do that, ever. Unless you have some very specific build. But if you remove the score line, then it's like you don't have that little bit of the corner of the paper. Wouldn't make that much of a deal. Nah, probably not, but, you know. Might as well do it right the first time. Okay, so we have our 1/4 inch, and we're going to put it on the back right up to, but not in the score line. Yeah, that gets a little old, but I see more and more people, well, not more and more, but I see it still being done. No matter how many YouTubers, you know, that you hear say it, there's still some people on YouTube, is the ones that I'm seeing, that they're still doing it. They're still getting, you know, when they're putting their paper down, and I'm yelling at them, get it out of the score line. You got it in the score line. See, I yell at people too. But I am always very careful to, you know, leave messages. Just say, oh, you know, I love your eye. You have great color choices or something. I still don't say anything because, you know, they're so careful to just be kind, and that I am very careful to be kind. I don't mind constructive criticism, which is a good thing because you guys give it to me all the time. which is great because that's how you learn, you know? That's how you learn. You get other things from other people, and that's how you learn. And I can learn something. I gave classes on making, it was a simple little purse mini album. And then I did a simple little purse journal. So they had both. And I did a class on those. And I tell you, these people that have never done it before would say, well, what about if we did this? Or could I do this? Or what do you think of this? And it's like, I never thought of that. So you can learn something from everyone, even if they've had no skills in the past, because they bring something different to the table. They bring a different eye. They bring a different knowledge set about something that maybe, you know, just goes with paper crafting perfectly. Or they just have so much common sense that they see a different way of doing it that just makes more sense to them. Inside or outside? Let's put this one inside, because I've got the 1/4 of an inch, and so that will give me plenty of room for stuff. Plenty of room for stuff. Okay, get this burnished down, and we almost have all our pages done. Flip her open. Okay, so here is our page number 3. So we have the 1/8 of an inch, and then the 1/2 inch on top of that, and then we have the 1/4 of an inch with the 1/2 inch inside the 1/4 of an inch. So that shares through the center all of that. So I think that's a good shot for the centerpiece. Now we're going to take our last pages. I had some of these cut and some of them not cut. Okay. So we have our base page, which is a 1/2 inch and 1 inch score. And now I want most of my thickness to be on the back. And so I'm thinking for this last one that I might just do it this way, where I'm going to have the slip that goes on the spine. Well, it could go this way too, but the slit that goes on the spine will go like this. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And I'm not going to have anything but one, where's my half? Yeah, 1/2 sheet. So we're just going to put the 1/2 sheet. So it's opposite. I mean, it's still the same build, but it's everything's going to be on the back side, all of the bulk. So I'm just going to have my 1 sheet here. Okay. Single sheet. Okay, so that is it for the front. And then the back. Let's see, we have our 1/2 inch, our 1/4 inch. So we want the 1/4 inch to go down first. And that is going to lay right at the first score line. That. Open up. Okay. Then we have here we go. We have our 1/8 of an inch gusset page. Okay, but we're going to push and score this first score line again, because that's the one we want to, only place we want to put glue. And it's just easier to see where you're putting everything. Alright, so I'm going to place this one inside. I'm going to fold everything out except for the base page. This is the 1/4 of an inch gusseted page right here. Okay, so we're going to come right up to that most inner score line that we have to work with. Oops. There we go. And then we're going to make sure that we fix our little gusset. Alright, and then I'm going to open this front sheet up and put everything else to the back so that I can put this last one on. If you had a 65-pound weight paper, that would do alright with this build. Because I am using a digital kit, I'm not putting like cardstock. It's way heavier than a copy paper, but it is not cardstock. So that's why I am using an 80-pound, because I printed all of these off on a like 65-pound maybe. I don't think it's 65-pound, but it says it was 65-pound, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like what we normally have as a 65-pound. Okay, so there we have our 1/2 inch gusset piece. No gusset, just our 1/2 inch fold. So our regular sheet of paper is on the top of the 1/4 inch gusset sheet. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. So that's the majority of the bulk. Here's our base page, and then we have this spread, and boom, and this will be the last page, which I will probably yeah, here. No, this is the first page of the section because I'm putting it in like this. So this will be the first page. But remember the other one has half of the bulk on this side. So there'll be a little bit of space here for something nice. And then this is flat. This is your base. And then you have 1/8 of an inch to play with. And then you have 1/4 of an inch to play with. And then it's flat. And then that is the back. And then you'll have your inside back cover. Now the inside back cover, I probably will put a big pocket where she can put things that didn't fit in the book, or that she didn't want to stick down because she didn't want to miss the back of it. So she can put all her other little ephemera pieces and stuff like that. Napkin, stuff like that. So anyway, so there we go, guys. There's that. And I think I'm going to build the book next. I don't normally do that, but being as this is pretty straightforward pages and I know where I can build bulk and where I can't, I think I'm just going to go ahead and build my book next. And then I'll know, you know, okay, I have to stop here because I don't want this to be like a big mouthed journal. I want this to be just a nice wedding album. So I will have to curtail some of what I'm doing. Although, you know, there's 4 of these and you've got the 1/2 inch pieces. So that would be 2 inches from spine side to spine side for these. But I want more room in the front and the back for other things on the inside, front, and back covers. So I'm probably looking at doing a 1/2 inch for the front and a 1/2 inch for the back. So that puts me at 2.5 inches on the spine, which I think I might even go 2 3/4, so that I have a little bit of extra space and that I don't have to put these sitting right on top of each other. I can have a teeny bit of space to do something else, you know. Yeah. So, anywho, there we go. Love you guys so much. Next, I'll be just putting together a basic book. I don't know if I'll bring you along for putting it together because, I mean, we've done that a million times. But I will definitely bring you into putting them into the book. Okay, guys? Love you. Bye.